We are living through a silent crisis where the greatest tragedy facing a man isn't outright failure, but the slow, agonizing descent into total anonymity. Human beings are biologically wired to seek purpose, to protect the tribe, and to leave a lasting mark on the world around them. Yet, millions of men wake up every single day, play safely by the rules, and quietly disappear into the background, wondering why the world treats them as if they are completely invisible. The brutal truth of human psychology is that the world does not ignore you out of malice. It ignores you because you have given it absolutely no reason to look. Nature has no metric for your silent intentions or your hidden potential. It only responds to active contribution. You are running out of time to break this cycle. Every single day you choose comfort over courage. You are actively auditing your own decline and deciding to be forgotten. This is an urgent battle for your sovereignty, because a life without impact isn't just quiet. It is a slow erasure of your very existence. The global ecosystem does not possess a mechanism to read a man's internal intentions, no matter how noble they may be. Human society is fundamentally built on the currency of contribution, meaning value is only recognized when it is actively projected outward. The world's psychology is deeply transactional. It measures what we tangibly manifest, because that is all it can rely upon to sustain the collective tribe. Millions of men mistakenly believe that their hidden potential should naturally command respect from the environment around them. When you keep your strength invisible, you give the world absolutely nothing to evaluate. Modern society is engineered to reward compliance because predictable individuals are much easier to manage within a massive, complex collective system. When a man dedicates his life to the completely safe pursuit of standard rules, the world's psychology immediately categorizes him as a replaceable utility rather than a sovereign force. By blending seamlessly into the rigid, established machinery, his unique creative presence is completely erased from the environment. The global ecosystem never pauses to celebrate those who merely follow instructions without causing any friction. The 99% become entirely invisible because they mistake blind obedience for true, lasting human impact. The world's collective psychology possesses an innate, highly sensitive radar that instantly detects and repels desperation. When a man demands direct attention, shouting for validation, the global ecosystem instinctively pushes him away. This is the validation paradox. The more aggressively you chase the spotlight, the more consistently you are ignored, because the world recognizes that true value never begs for an audience. Society naturally gravitates toward authentic significance rather than superficial noise. When a man operates solely to be noticed, the environment senses an internal vacuum and withdraws its respect, ensuring his frantic efforts result in total obscurity. Human society operates on an ancient tribal psychology that completely filters out individuals who only look inward. The world does not grant influence to those seeking personal gain. It reserves its deepest respect for men who anchor the collective support of the community. When your primary focus is entirely self-preservation, the ecosystem perceives you as a consumer rather than a producer of safety. Shifting your internal framework to serve a purpose greater than yourself is the only way to break through this immutable law of human value. Invisible men remain completely ignored because they fail to offer anything that sustains the pack. The global ecosystem uses friction as a natural filtering mechanism to determine who is capable of leading a culture. The world's psychology is inherently cautious. It refuses to invest trust in any man who has not proven his capacity to endure pressure. True impact is never granted during moments of ease, but is forged when an individual willingly steps into high-stakes responsibility. When the world observes a man avoiding difficult decisions, it instantly downgrades his relevance, treating him as an invisible entity. Navigating this intense structural wake is exactly how a man signals his functional value to the wider environment. Society naturally aligns itself with individuals who act as shock absorbers for collective anxiety. The invisible 99% fail to make an impact because they retreat the moment the stakes become uncomfortable, choosing the safety of zero accountability. By refusing to carry the heavy burdens, they convince the world that their existence carries no real consequence. The world's collective psychology is deeply attuned to consistency because unpredictability threatens the stability of the entire human ecosystem. When a man establishes a sovereign signature, an uncompromised standard of execution, the environment stops treating him as an erratic variable and begins treating him as an anchor. The global community does not listen to individuals who are merely loud. It listens to those whose actions are relentlessly predictable and aligned with an unshakable truth. The invisible 99% fail to command attention because their standards fluctuate based on convenience, signaling that their foundation is inherently fragile. When your execution changes with the weather, the collective environment instinctively filters you out. Designing a standard that forces the world to listen requires an absolute commitment to a definition of value that survives the heaviest social pressure. Human culture naturally yields its attention to individuals who refuse to compromise their core principles, even when the immediate environment offers zero validation. This unyielding clarity acts as a gravity well, forcing the ecosystem to recalibrate around your presence, because people crave the structural certainty you project. The world's psychology is designed to test your resolve, constantly pushing against your boundaries to see if you will bend. By holding a flawless line of execution day after day, you create an undeniable reality that the environment cannot ignore.